Good afternoon, this is Caesar with Inspire Movement. Hope you're having a lovely start to your work week. We're going to continue today with our segment entitled Word of the Day, and we're going to be looking at the word energy. So energy by definition is the ability to do work. That's the scientific definition for the word energy. Now we're going to try to focus in on positive energies, positive psychology, and why this is so important. So why is it so important to have positive psychology, to exude positive energy into the world? Well, for one, when you're positively minded, you use positive psychology on a regular basis, you handle stressful situations that much better than your negative counterpart. And the reason why that is because you are typically more focused on solving problems than dwelling on the problems, which negative people typically do. And that in and of itself allows you to manage stressful situations so much better. Just the fact that you are always focusing in on, well, what can I do to make the situation better? I'm problem solving, whereas the person that uses negative psychology really tends to dwell on those problems and not really focus in on how to get past them. So that's one of the main differences if you look at a person with positive psychology versus negative psychology. How can you hone in on positive psychology, positive energy more? Well, one thing that you can do is try to assess your personality, assess your person, and try to come up with things that you could potentially work on and focus in on setting some form of strategy to become that better person, optimally better than you are today. And then have check-ins, periodic check-ins. So as you are trying to make these changes and implement these changes into your life, hold yourself accountable by having periodic check-ins along the way to see how you're doing. Maybe ask feedback from a friend, or maybe have a mentor or somebody that you can sort of bounce things off of as you're trying to implement changes in your life. Also sound your life with positive people. Sound your life with positive environments. Sound your life with positive experiences and situations. Create a bubble of positivity to keep you more positive as a person, and you're able then to channel in more positive energies to be a filter thereof for the world. So these are all little things that you can do in order to be more positive and have more positive energy. Also, another thing that you can do is hone in on your thoughts and your internal dialogue. Make sure that you're not falling into a victim into negative self-talk, self-limiting beliefs, and things of that nature that keep your vibration kind of low, and keep you stuck essentially in that way of being. So focus in on your positive talk, internal dialogue. That's also very helpful as you're trying to become a more positive person. Some other basic things that you can consider is cultivating your gratitude. We've talked about this in different segments. Things like doing a gratitude journaling in the morning are ways that you can habituate trying to be a more appreciative person on a day-to-day basis. Also elevating things like your compassion and your kindness are things that you can do to be more positive minded, use more positive psychology, exude more positive energy. All really basic things, but also very important to try to be this awesome person that you want to be for everybody around you, for your loved ones and your immediate community. So some other personal reflections that I can think of as I try to hone in on the word energy is in trying to study a little bit of the neuroscience around mindfulness and meditative practices. It's pretty well established that everything is energy, right? Everything in the physical realm and the non-physical realm is essentially some form of energy in one way or the other. And that being said, we are channels of energy, right? And again, going back to some of the things that we can do to hone in on what kind of vibrations are we in? Are we in low frequencies? Meaning to say, are we in situations where we're falling into holding resentments, anger, grudges, things that vibrationally keep us very low? Or are we focusing in on things like gratitude, joy, happiness, thankfulness that keep us vibrating really, really high? And essentially we're informing the world and we are receiving information from the world. So it's incumbent on all of us to try to hone in on what we're trying to give out, because in some manner that's exactly what we're going to attract. So if we're vibrating very low and we're holding on to grudges, resentments, and anger, those types of vibes that you're giving out, you will likely attract. So it's very incumbent on us to try to hone in on those elevated emotions, like I mentioned before, the gratitude, the joy, the happiness, because ultimately that is the environment that you're creating around you. What you're giving out is what's going to come back to you. So in a very real way, we are energy, and everything around us is energy, and we can be a better author of our lives by being very aware as to what our thoughts are in our head and what energy we're exuding out into the world. Thus, positive energy is an awesome way for us to have this beautiful, bright future that we want for our lives. Hopefully that's of use to you. Tune into www.inspiremovement.com. It's always an honor and a privilege to sync up with you, and also on our social media platforms. Anything that we could do to be of service to you, we will try to do to the best of our ability. Thank you so much, and have a lovely rest of the week.